Hello and welcome to the Wine Enthusiast podcast, your serving of wine trends and passionate people beyond the bottle. I'm Roger Voss, the European editor here at Wine Enthusiast, and in this episode I'll talk with Françoise Lannoye, who is the president of the Côtes de Bordeaux, a collection of 5 different appellations, all based on slopes, and that's the interesting thing about them. Côtes means in French slope, and of course a slope is a great place to grow grapes. So we'll hear more about that, and she will explain why they're so important, these Côtes de Bordeaux, and then I will be tasting a number of them and telling you all about them. So tell me about the Côtes de Bordeaux. What are they?
Côtes de Bordeaux, it's a group of appellations. In fact, we are on 5 terroirs, 5 different terroirs, but our special is we are all on the hillside. That's why we are Côtes de Bordeaux. That makes really the difference between Bordeaux.
So can you tell me the names of the different appellations are, please?
Yes, so we have Blaye Côtes de Bordeaux, which is in the north of Bordeaux. We have Cadillac Côtes de Bordeaux, Castillon Côtes de Bordeaux, Franc Côtes de Bordeaux, and Sainte-Foy Côtes de Bordeaux.
You say that being the Côtes, which means slope,
Yes.
makes them special. Why? What is so special about a slope?
Because the rain is draining easily, and we have also we have very sunny exposure. So that makes a difference because depends on the weather, but we are never too wet.
And so what difference does that make to the wine?
So that gives to the wine a fruity taste, more fruity taste, and also a bit of structure. We are not too light, but we are easy drinking wine.
So the grape varieties of the Côtes de Bordeaux, are they all the same, the classic Bordeaux grape varieties, or do they vary between the different appellations?
So in principle, all the appellations have Merlot, but after you've got some varieties, different varieties compared to the name of the terroir. So for Blaye, for example, they have some Malbec more, and Castillon, it's more Cabernet Franc, complete with Merlot, and Côtes de France is also more Castillon. You know, you have this kind of things which are different. And also about the taste, you can find different tastes also. Of course, each winemaker has his own way to make wine. So it's always different between each winemaker anyway. But you have, for example, for Sainte-Foy Côtes de Bordeaux, they have very often the cherry taste in their wine, you know. So you can find this kind of thing also from difference from the appellation.
So now, why should anybody buy Côtes de Bordeaux rather than any other wine? Not just from Bordeaux, but from anywhere. What is going to make them enjoy, what will they enjoy about a Côtes de Bordeaux that they wouldn't enjoy about another wine?
So Côtes de Bordeaux, the special is very fruity wine and with a bit of structure, but they are not oaky, very oaky, they are not loud, you know, they are fresh also and easy drinking wine. The special also is they are always drinkable wines. That's very important for us in Côtes de Bordeaux, you know.
So when you buy a bottle of Côtes de Bordeaux, say 2017, which is the latest vintage going on the market,
Yes.
when can you drink it?
Well, you can drink it about 2 or 3 years after.
It's as simple as that?
It's not simple because you can drink it about 2 or 3 years. It's just because it's you know, the vinification that we do, we don't extract tannins which are not well matured. So if the tannins are matured, you can drink the wine quite early. Compare if you have tannin which are rusted, you know, it's different. But in Côtes de Bordeaux, we have tannin which are matured. So you can drink them about 2 or 3 years after the vintage, and they are still good during 10 years around, you know. So you can keep them, but they are drinkable early also.
So tell me about wood aging. Are all these wines aged in barrels, or do some just come from tank, or how does that work mainly in Côtes de Bordeaux?
Mainly we age in tanks, but you have in general also a mix. So we age a part of the wine in barrels, a part of it in tanks, and after we do the blending, you know. So you can blend a part of oaks barrels with tank aging. And also we started aging in amphore. So it's also another way to age the wine that makes something also special, because you have some micro-oxygenation, but you keep the food more than in the barrels, you know. You don't bring the oaky notes.
Every wine I taste from Côtes de Bordeaux has a different name. It's a chateau, chateau, chateau. How can I, when I go to a wine shop, decide which chateau I should buy wine from?
So when you are in the same appellation, of course, it's not easy. That's why it's difficult also for us to sell the wines in the American market, because we are small families, you know. So we have 1,000 producers in Côtes de Bordeaux, and so you can find 1,000 chateaux, you see. But you will have some help on the back label. With the grape variety, normally are written on the back label, and also if they do the aging can be written also, and especially when the winemakers make something special, he will written it on the back label. But it's not easy to find it on the front label.
It's harvest time here in Castillon. Can you tell me how your harvest is going at your estate?
So I started the harvest at my chateau last week on Thursday. So we did it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So well, it's quite busy actually. So we get up early, 5 o'clock, because it was so hot in the afternoon that we need to harvest only in the morning. That's also the reason why we started so early. So it can depend of the year, of course. The harvest will go on during about 10 days. And, but not in continue. It can be stopped and we start it again, you see, because we are waiting for the right maturity. And for the vinification, we start with the wine which is without any sulfur. So we do this kind of wine on my estate also. So we have this special cuvée without sulfur. So we always start by these plots, because it needs to be very healthy about the grapes and so on. So, and it needs also much more attention, So it's the first thing we do. And after vinification, take about 20 days. And well, maceration, it can take 10 days more. And after we go to the aging step.
Is this the busiest time of the year for you?
Yes, it is the most stressful time. Everything is important. Every details you do is important. The day of the harvest is important. The date of the harvest is important of each plot. And after, how you will do the pumping over, how many per day, and so on. Because you have to adapt it to the quality of the wine that you have in your tank. So all this is very important, so you are very concentrated on this, So we are very busy with this. And at the end of the year, also with the sales, because we do also direct sales with consumer in France. So we go to many exhibitions, so this also takes time.
How much vineyard do you have in your chateau? How big is your vineyard?
So it's 25 acres around. So it's not very big, in fact, but all the Côtes de Bordeaux are around this kind of area, We are not very big because we are on slope, so you don't have a big area in front of you, That's why we are very small.
The Côtes de Bordeaux also makes white wine in some of the appellations. Can you tell me a little bit about the white wines that are made and where they are, which appellations?
Okay, so white wines are produced by Blaye, Côtes de Bordeaux. You have some also in Franc, Côtes de Bordeaux, in Sainte-Foy, Côtes de Bordeaux. It's about 3 or 5% of the production of Côtes de Bordeaux, so they are not you don't find many labels with white wines of Côtes de Bordeaux, but they are produced mainly with Sauvignon and Semillon grape varieties. And in general, they are easy selling in America because American people like very much white wine and especially Sauvignon. So, and as it's often written on the back label, they can see it's a grape variety they like.
Tell me about the price of the Côtes de Bordeaux. What would you expect to have to pay in America for a Côtes de Bordeaux, for example, your wine?
The price is around, I should say, $14 up to $20 or $19, which is a main price bracket for the Côtes de Bordeaux. You can find some of them a little bit higher about the price, but not many of them. Majority is of the $15, 15 to 17.
So that makes them actually very good value, doesn't it, compared with many wines on the market in the United States?
That's why I find it's really Côtes de Bordeaux should succeed more and more in US market, because we are really in the good bracket price for the market.
We're talking here on a sunny day in Castillon. Is that good for the harvest? And how do you think the future is for the rest of the harvest?
Good for the moment, because we have a very nice September weather. The weather was very nice even last week. So we just have some rain recently, but it's not bad because it's just a small part of rain, And maybe it can, for us, wait to harvest the Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc a little bit later. And actually, mainly this week, people are starting for harvesting Merlot, But we have a good... when you test the grapes, the tannin are really mature, The skin is fine and supple. So it must be a good year. But we still need to wait to have everything inside, It's like this with agriculture. Don't speak too quickly.
Our thanks to Françoise Lannoye for talking to us. She is president of the Côtes de Bordeaux, and she's been talking to us on this Wine Enthusiast podcast. What's the hottest new trend in wine cellars? VinoView by Wine Enthusiast. VinoView will change how you cool and display your favourite wines. The patented matrix shelf design displays wine labels forward to showcase your favourite bottles. It comes standard with 12 built-in rolling shelves, each comfortably holding 12 750ml bottles of all shapes and sizes. With a 155 bottle capacity, VinoView is the only wine cellar of this type that can hold the number of bottles it advertises. Guaranteed. It's not only sleek in design, it also has a state-of-the-art compressor cooling performance. Wine Enthusiast VinoView is available exclusively on the Wine Enthusiast catalogue. Visit wineenthusiast.com and find out why customers are calling VinoView awesome, beautiful, and a must-have product. To experience VinoView, visit wineenthusiast.com or call one of our experienced wine storage experts at 800 356 8466. Having heard all about the Côtes de Bordeaux from Françoise, let's check out some wines to buy and taste. There are 5 côtes. From west to east there are Blaye, Cadillac, Castillon, Franc and Sainte-Foy. The last two, Franc and Sainte-Foy, are small, and so there are very few of their wines available. Let's instead concentrate on the other 3. From Blaye comes Chateau Bertinon 2016 Cuvée Henri. It's imported by Medallion Global and priced at $28, which is a great deal. Blaye is really marked by its view over the massive Gironde estuary, looking towards the Medoc and the vineyards of Margaux. There's a massive fortress on the cliffs of Blaye that was built to stop invaders sailing up the river towards Bordeaux city. Now today you can shop and dine inside its walls. Chateau Bertinon has 91 acres, large for the region. This Cuvée Henri red wine is named after the owner's father, Henri Ponce. It is richly structured, has both berry fruits and ripe tannins. It's firm when it needs to be, but it's also generous in its blackberry flavours and acidity. And when I said it should be drunk from 2021, it probably could be drunk earlier. I gave it 90 points. Now let's change gear and go east to Cadillac. Cadillac is on the Garonne River, which is one of those two rivers which flow together to make the Gironde estuary. The Garonne is the one that flows through Bordeaux city. Château-Laram is another estate on a hill looking down on Cadillac's castle. One of the lords of the castle, with the magnificent name of Chevalier Antoine Lomé de la Motte Cadillac, became governor of Louisiana in the 18th century, when Louisiana was still a French colony. Somehow his name became attached to the cars 150 years later. Cadillac, the village and its castle, are proud of its name and its association with the cars. Every year there's a festival and processions of vintage Cadillacs. Notice the pronunciation in French is Cadillac, not Cadillac. Château-Laram, R-A-M-E, is one of the top red wines from an estate that also produces dessert wines. La Charmille is the name of the cuvée. With its firm tannins and structured fruitiness, this is a dry wine, I reckon, at this stage with plenty of aging needed. That was when I tasted it a year ago. It has spice and dense tannins, but those have already softened, I reckon. And so, although the wine will be ready from 2021, again, I think it could be drunk more quickly. It's imported by Rosenthal Wine Merchants, priced $24. And for the third wine, from Castillon, we have Château Hyot Reserve. Now, Hyot is spelled H-Y-O-T. Castillon Reserve, 2016, imported by Serge Doré Selections, priced $20. Castillon's full name is Castillon-La Bataille. It celebrates the end of the 100 Years' War between France and England, which ended in 1453 with the final defeat of the English. The meeting between the French and English generals took place at this chateau. Current owner Alain Aubert is a sixth-generation winemaker who is now partnered by his daughter Amélie to produce a firmly structured wine. They are helped, certainly, by consultant Michel Voland, who hails from Saint-Emilion, just next door. There is a stylistic similarity between the wines of Castillon and Saint-Emilion, sharing the same slope and the same exposure, just a different zip code. With its rich tannins go the fine black currant fruits and acidity that together will allow the wine to age. This one definitely needs to age a little bit longer, and I reckon it should be drunk from 2021. So thanks for listening to this episode of the Wine Enthusiast podcast. We have been talking about inexpensive Bordeaux and the Côtes de Bordeaux in particular. We interviewed Françoise Lannoye, president of the Côtes de Bordeaux appellations. And I reviewed 3 wines that are definitely worth checking out. All 3 great value and under $30. They were at 90 points, Chateau Bertinon, 2016, Cuvée Henri, Blaye, Côtes de Bordeaux, importer Medallion Global, priced $28. 91 points, Château-Laram, 2016, La Charmille, Charmille, from Cadillac, Côtes de Bordeaux, importer Rosenthal Wine Merchants, priced $24. And at 91 points, Château Hyot, H-Y-O-T, Reserve, 2016, from Castillon, Côtes de Bordeaux, importer Serge Doré Selections, priced $20. Subscribe to the Wine Enthusiast podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you find podcasts. And if you like today's episode, we'd so appreciate a 5-star review and comment. And please tell your friends to check us out too. For more wine reviews, recipes, guides and stories, visit Wine Enthusiast online at winemag.com. The Wine Enthusiast podcast is produced by Marina Vatage and Jenny Rosa. Till the next episode, cheers, and thanks for listening.